Okay, I'm here with Miles. This is Miles. Miles is how old?
5.
A 5-year-old Chihuahua mix, and Miles is very protective of his guardian. Matter of fact, he's protective of anybody that he is near. And actually, I had a friend of mine that had a dog that was similar. He would defend anybody who's petting him was who he would defend. So basically, go ahead and if you want to call Miles over, I'll give you a treat.
Miles.
Yes. And so Miles knows that I have the treats. I've been giving a whole bunch of treats because he's normally reactive to men, and I wanted to kind of create a positive association. There we go. So I'm going to sit. Okay, so I'm going to get up and move around, and I'm not sure exactly what the camera's going to show, but basically, if you have a dog that's reactive or possessive of someone, you really need to flip the leader-follower dynamic by rules and structure, which is something I already talked about off camera. But in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can create a positive association. So it's important to understand that a growl is not aggression. It's the antithesis of aggression. It's saying, I'm uncomfortable with what you're doing. It's the first level of a warning, typically. So if Miles is right there, I'm going to approach and hopefully, well, not hopefully, but probably, so there we go. So Miles was saying, look, you're getting too close to her. And that's what the guardian actually used to live with her sister, and he would do it to the siblings as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of recreate the same thing, but I'm going to create a positive association with it. So I'm going to give you another treat, put it right there. Sit. Oh, good catch, Miles. So what I'm doing is I'm practicing approaching and making something good happen, and then I'm walking away. And what I'm not doing is I'm not touching him or the guardian. I can get even closer and closer, and you see that right now we're not having any growls. Now, I know this is not ideal. We don't want to go ahead and be doing this for our dogs all the time, over and over again. Well, this is kind of a short gap measure to help him have a positive association. So you saw the first time just getting closer. Now I can come over here. Do you mind if I put one on your shin?
Sure.
There we go. And no reaction whatsoever. So what I would recommend the guardian does, and I'm guessing that he does this with your boyfriend as well?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. Well, that means the boyfriend's kind of achieved good status through his actions and what he did or didn't do. So this is just the guest quarters. You understand the compound of how big of a place we're in right now. But basically what we want to do is arrange to have friends and people come over so we can practice this. So that way I come over here, instead of me, so you saw there, his reaction is to move over there, but there wasn't any growling. He was actually looking for the treat. And so we're going to proceed our movements with a treat. There we go. And after a while, he starts to associate when people approach, not only they're not a threat for my guardian, they're actually treat delivery people. I don't know why I was biting them or growling at them. They're here to service me. And so we'll go ahead and put another one there. There you go. So it'll take a little bit of practice. Now, the other things I went over off camera, and for a lot of my clients, there's kind of 4 things. Lack of exercise, his exercise appropriate, doesn't have a lot of rules, didn't really have any rules, gets to tell his guardian when to pet him, and is a little bit confused about his ranking in the pack. So the more that the guardian can enforce rules, pet him with a purpose, use passive train to reward desired actions and behaviors, the more he starts to see her acting like a leader. Well, she is an accomplished woman and she doesn't need my protection. I thought I was doing her a service by doing this, but evidently instead of guarding her, she wants me to sit, to come to her, to lay down, and do all these other non-aggressive or territorial things. And so the more that he gets in the habit of doing those positive things, the less he thinks it's his job to protect her, and the less growly he gets when people come over and approach. And now I can come over and approach. So again, we'll do that again. So this is an example of warm versus cold. So we were warm because we repped it a whole bunch, and then we got cold. So we're going to rep that again and see if we can have a handshake without him reacting. So I'm splitting these in half because he's a little guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of break it down in individual steps. So I'm going to go like this, and then we go like that. I'm going to go like this, and then we go like that. So you saw a little bit of his lip go up. That's an indication he's not comfortable. So what I'm going to do is I'm breaking it down. I'm not doing the full extent. I'm stopping when he's baring his lips. He's saying, I'm uncomfortable with what you're doing. So I'm doing it a little bit different now. This is a different technique that I use where I'm going to take one treat and I'm going to smash it so it's flat like a pancake and let him nibble on it. So I get a lot of repetitions of this motion while something positive is happening for him. And you see now we're not getting any of the lip curl because he's more interested in getting the treat. So we're going to do it again and we'll get a little bit closer this time. So I'm not doing the final act, I'm just doing the individual steps. All right, so we'll do 2 more treats. I think we'll be able to shake without any reaction by the end of the second treat. So we had a little bit of that, but I think it was more of a residual than anything else. All right, so this one I'm going to do it twice, and we'll try to shake hands on the third one. 1, 2. the spitting up your treat, that costs extra. But you saw he was kind of, part of this I think is a behavior pattern for him. He's used to reacting this way. So you're gonna have to recreate this multiple times for him to start seeing, okay, a hand coming towards me is actually a good thing, not a bad thing. And there he goes, he gave us a little bit of a nudge, so we're gonna do the same thing. Good job. Well, this is Miles, and these are some tips and tricks you can use if you have a dog that nips or is a little bit possessive of the person they're sitting on or next to.